Hey there, everybody. Pete Pardo here. Welcome to another edition of What's Hot with Sea Tranquility. Yes, it's Wednesday. Yes, it's new album review day. We've got a bunch for you here today. This is just one of a few that we're going to be discussing hot off the presses. The fifth album from Alcatrazz, simply titled V or 5. Right? So this, of course, out on Silver Lining Music. Okay, there's a little digipack. There's the band right there. I'm going to get to them all in a second. So you probably have heard that the Alcatrazz band has had somewhat of a split in over the last year. And yes, we've seen this sort of thing before, but basically what happened is a founding member and vocalist, the legendary Graham Bonnet, had some sort of an issue with the rest of the band in regards to what is being said as the management. He wanted a change of management. The rest of the band did not agree. They decided to part ways because Graham apparently couldn't live with the management that was in place. So he has decided to go off and form his own version of Alcatrazz, which I think is just going to be called Graham Bonnet's Alcatrazz. And we have regular Alcatrazz. So they're both factions are going to use the name. Into Alcatrazz comes Doogie White, who obviously Graham is good friends with because they both have been in Michael Schenker's Michael Schenker Fest for a number of years, so there's no real animosity there. And apparently, by what you read, Graham is totally fine with there being two factions, but he wants to go do his own thing. Now, what you kind of hear behind the scenes from Gary Shea and the current members of the band and Jimmy Waldo is that another reason for the split is that the band wanted to go and do heavier music, very, very guitar oriented, and Graham really wasn't into that, wanted to kind of scale it back just a little bit. So whatever the reason might be, and again, this is all just kind of hearsay, he said, she said, that sort of thing. We've got a new album from Alcatrazz, fifth album. Here's the booklet right here. You got song lyrics, all right, information on who plays what, who does play what. Like I mentioned, Doogie White on vocals. Of course, Doogie, well-traveled. Doogie has been in Tank. Doogie has been in Ritchie Blackmore's Rainbow, Michael Schenker, Group and Fest and Temple of Rock, Yngwie Malmsteen. Doogie has been here, there, and everywhere. Joe Stump on all guitars. Of course, Joe, tremendous virtuoso, has been around the scene for quite a long time, famous for the neoclassical shred style. We got Jimmy Waldo and Gary Shea, of course, original members of Alcatrazz, also formerly from New England. And then you got Mark Benquetia, I believe how he says his name, on drums. And just to show you everybody there in the band, here they are right there. Once again, here's everybody for you. So what can we expect from this album? Well, I will say it's pretty damn good. We've got 12 tracks, got a dozen tracks on here. It is pretty heavy. I will say this is definitely, I can safely say without a doubt, this is probably the heaviest Alcatrazz album to date. I thought the last album they did in 2020, Born Innocent, was actually really strong. Had some heavy moments, but otherwise sounded like a typical Alcatrazz album. You had No Parole from Rock and Roll was a debut back in 1983, of course, with Swedish guitar sensation Yngwie Malmsteen in the guitar seat. He was then replaced shortly thereafter by Steve Vai for Disturbing the Peace, which is a little bit different style-wise of an album. Vai lasted about a year, then he was replaced by Danny Johnson for the Dangerous Games album, easily the least successful of all of the Alcatrazz albums so far, in my opinion, probably easily the weakest one. But then, of course, they broke up for many years. Graham toured under the Alcatrazz banner from time to time, had the Graham Bonnet Band as well, but they came back in 2020 for the Born Innocent album, which had all sorts of guest stars on it. Didn't really, to my ears, sound as much like a true Alcatrazz band effort, which this really does. So shortly after Born Innocent, they part ways with Graham. He picks up, from what I've heard so far, Jeff Loomis, guitar shredder extraordinaire from Nevermore and Sanctuary and Arch Enemy, Jeff, and some solo stuff. Jeff, tremendous guitar talent, so we'll see how that all kind of works out. Apparently they're working on a new record that'll be released either later this year or early next year. So we've got the brand new one from the rest of the guys in Alcatrazz. Like I said, really good, pretty heavy. A very, very guitar-centered album. But more importantly, this easily is the heaviest thing this band has ever done. I would say it comes close to being like a true power metal album as opposed to a classic hard rock and metal album with lots of hooks and things, which is like the classic Alcatrazz band always was. This is like guitar riff-o-rama, lots of blazing, neoclassical shredding by Stump. A very good vocal performance from Doogie White. The rest of the band filling in admirably all around those two guys, but a lot of really great, memorable, fast and furious songs on here. Guardian Angel, definitely one to look out for. It's catchy. It's got some really fast rhythms, lots of riffing, lots of soloing. Sword of Deliverance might be my favorite track on the album. Really good. A really good hook, but it's heavy. But it's very, very memorable. Great chorus. You got Blackheart, Return to Nevermore is a fun track. House of Lies, Dark Day for My Soul. There's some dark stuff on here. And I can, the more I listen to this album, the more I think, yeah, I'm not sure that Graham would actually be comfortable doing this type of material. It just seems to be a little more guitar heavy than I think he's probably used to doing. But it really works, and Doogie stays up there right alongside Stump the whole way. I mean, Doogie performs admirably. But then again, I think Doogie is used to playing in bands like this, where the guitar is such a dominant figure. Quite frankly, Graham is too, which is a little odd when you really think about it. So it's like, was it all about the management? Was it all about the direction? I don't really know. I've heard interviews with some of the guys where they're talking about how metal sells. We want to go out, we want to play all the big festivals and stuff like that, and this is the type of material that's going to be popular with the festival crowds. And I kind of get that, right? So you definitely don't want any kind of poppy stuff on here, and no mellow tracks. And there's no mellow songs on here at all. Target, Maybe Tomorrow, Turn of the Wheel, Grace of God. I mean, these are all heavy hitting songs. Lots of guitar shredding, but most importantly, they're memorable, heavy, crunchy, but catchy songs. And I think that's really important here. Kind of, if I could put it into perspective, this is probably the best album that Yngwie Malmsteen has made, and he didn't make it, in 30 plus years. I love Yngwie. But this to me sounds more like an excellent Yngwie Malmsteen album with everything firing on all cylinders, great guitar work, but more importantly, very good, tight, memorable songs and great vocals, right? Yngwie hasn't done an album quite that good in a long time. Maybe not 30 years. Probably stretching that a little bit, but easily about 20. But yeah, this is the best album Yngwie Malmsteen hasn't made in a long, long time. Mixed in with a little bit of some, really, the more recent Michael Schenker stuff. It's just, you take the best of both worlds, take the best of recent Yngwie and the best of Michael Schenker, and even up it a little bit. And that's what you got here. Really good songs. Really memorable songs. Great guitar playing, great vocals. I like this a lot. The more I listen to it, the more I'm digging it. And I really had my expectations checked pretty low, because initially I was thinking, geez, Graham Bonnet is Alcatrazz, right? And maybe this would even be better not named Alcatrazz, but whatever you call it, V or 5 is really good. It's really good. So check it out. I think you guys will like it. If you just like really good classic metal, all right, with lots of just wild guitar playing, great vocals, memorable songs, big riffs, that's what you get here. It's quality stuff. Quality stuff. So check it out. Visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. Of course, we're here on YouTube all the damn time. It'll be interesting to see what Graham and his cronies come up with in the not-too-distant future, and then we can kind of look at them both side by side. So, but for now, we're going to get two factions of Alcatrazz. It's just the way it is. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Click on that notification bell, and so you get alerted of all of our content. We've got the link to our Ko-Fi page below for channel donations, as well as the link to our merch site. We're having a sale between now and the end of the year, so go check out all the shirts and things that are available and what's on sale. And seatranquility.org, our webzine, which is now celebrating 20 years on the internet. That link is available below as well. So thanks for watching, everybody. See you real soon with more stuff. I am Pete Pardo. Take care.